Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar, How to Apply to Teach in the USA with EPI. I'm Kimberly Daggerhart, Director of Communications here at Educational Partners International, and we are so glad to have you with us today. Before we get started, I'd like to go over a few items so you know how to participate in today's event. You'll have the opportunity to submit questions by typing your questions into the comment box at any time during the presentation. We'll collect these and address them at the end. I'd now like to introduce our presenter, Jessica, our content specialist here at EPI.
Hi everyone, as Kimberly just mentioned, my name is Jessica and I work as the content specialist here at EPI. I am personally from the mountains of North Carolina, and before working for EPI, I taught English at the community college level. And I'm really excited to be working for a place that combines my passion for education with my passion for cultural exchange. So today we will be talking about how to apply to teach in the U.S. with Educational Partners International. During this webinar, we'll be going over how to start your application and what documents you will need for it. We will also explain the purpose of the application and give you some tips that will make the process go as quickly as possible. If you are joining us for the first time, we are Educational Partners International, or EPI for short, and we are a cultural exchange program that brings international teachers to teach in K-12 schools in the United States. Our personal mission is to bring some of the best teachers from around the world to come to the U.S. in order to share their cultural experiences. As you can read here, our goal is to strengthen K-12 education by discovering and empowering the world's best international teachers to facilitate authentic cultural exchange. The results include teachers and students that become lifelong learners, embrace 21st century skills, and serve as change agents in an interconnected world of global understanding. So while we work with schools across the southern United States, our home office is in North Carolina, which is about where the arrow is on the map on your screen there. We would love to know where all of you are from as well, so please go ahead and tell us in the comments below. So now that you have some background on who we are, it is important to understand EPI's process. Our process for bringing teachers like you to the United States looks like this. First, you complete an application so that we know that you are eligible for our program and will be a strong candidate for cultural exchange. The application process includes filling out a thorough online form, uploading official documents, and 2 interviews with EPI team members. After you've completed the application process, you are moved to what we call the approved stage, where you interview at one of our partnered schools. Once you complete a successful school interview, you are placed in the school and become an official EPI program member. So now let's take a closer look at the first step there, the application process. EPI's application process is thorough, but it does a few important things for you. First, filling out the application creates a professional profile for schools to look at when they are considering teachers for interviews. We also use the information you provide on the application to decide whether or not you meet our eligibility requirements. Some of the requirements for being an EPI teacher are that you are currently teaching, you have at least 2 years full-time teaching experience, and that you have the equivalent of a U.S. bachelor's degree. Finally, the application helps you collect all the documents that you will need to get a visa, travel to the United States, and to get a teaching license. So you have read about EPI and our requirements, and you have decided that you do want to apply to teach in the USA with Educational Partners International. Well, how do you get started? So the first step is to go to our website, teachwithepi.com/teachers. Once you are there, you will scroll down until you see the big orange button that says click here to apply. Then you will need to answer some questions about your eligibility. After you answer the questions and click Submit, you will be able to make an account with your email address and start your application. Once you start your application, it is important that you prioritize completing your personal and professional profile as soon as possible so that you can quickly move to the next application stage. So EPI's application also requires documentation to be sure that you are able to travel and teach in the United States. Here we have a list of the documents that you will need to upload to your application before you will be eligible for school interviews. We ask for copies of all pages of your passport, diploma, transcripts, criminal background checks, proof of employment, and a credential evaluation from an NACES-approved company. If you have a valid driver's license and wish to drive in the United States, we will also need to see a copy of your driver's license, but driving is not a requirement for the program. When you are first starting your application, you should prioritize the passport pages, diplomas, transcripts, because we will be using these documents before we can invite you for interviews with EPI team members. And finally, the only place that you should ever upload any of these documents is to the official EPI website. To protect your privacy, you should never upload any documents to Facebook. We will not accept any of your documents through Facebook. So one of the most common questions our candidates ask about the application process is, how long does it take? As we've already stated, the application process includes processing all of your documents and 2 interviews with EPI team members. So how long the process takes often depends on how quickly you can collect and upload the appropriate documents. So here we have some quick tips on things that you can do to make sure that the application process goes as quickly and smoothly as possible. First, be sure to read all of our requirements before you apply. You can find our requirements at teachwithepi.com/teacher requirements. When completing the application, be sure to read and follow all directions on the application carefully. And finally, when you will need to create your account with a valid email address and check your email regularly. We will only be able to discuss your application through email. So before we answer your questions, we would like to show you a brief video of one of our Spanish immersion teachers from Mexico. After this video, we will be answering your questions in a live question and answer session.
Hi, my name is Claudia Castillo. I'm from Monterrey and I'm a Spanish teacher here at D. Williams in the Dual Language Program. Today is May 10. May 10 in Mexico, it's a really big celebration. It's Mother's Day, and for us, mothers are like the base of the family. So at school, what I try to do is just to share my culture and share the way we celebrate in Mexico here. The kids were really excited. They were happy to be able to sing to their moms. They were happy to be able to express their feelings. And for the American moms, they can learn about our culture, the way that we celebrate. I think every single mom like and enjoy this event. EPI, it's for me, has made my dream come true. And I'm just really happy to be here. I'm really happy to be part of EPI. And I just hope that everybody joins us.
Okay, so now it is time for our question and answer session. I will be answering any questions that you have left in the comments. So if you have not yet submitted your question, please ask them now. Also, we encourage you to tell us about yourself. We would love to know where you are from and what you are currently teaching at your schools. I'm joined again by Kimberly, who has collected the questions you've submitted. Hi, Kimberly.
Hi, Jessica, and hello to all of the teachers joining us from around the world today. We'd like to welcome teachers from Jamaica, the Philippines, India, South Africa, and more. Wherever you're joining us from, thank you so much. All right, Jessica, our first question today is, do you accept part-time teachers?
So that is a great question, and the answer is no, that for the purpose of our program, we really want our teachers to come to the United States and be in schools full-time so that their students really get the full cultural experience of having an international teacher in the classroom, and so that our teachers get the full experience of being in the American classroom. So we do not do online teaching, and we do not do part-time teaching.
Right, so it's full-time, engaging in cultural exchange.
Yes.
Okay, our next question is, how long does it take to apply to the program?
Okay, so I touched on this a little bit earlier, and it does vary from person to person how long the application process takes. However, as long as you are doing the best you can to get all of your documents in order and uploaded in the appropriate places and they all look good, it really doesn't have to take too long to apply.
And here's a question that we see a lot. Do you require a driver's license?
So driving is not a requirement for the program. If you do not have a driver's license, you do not need one to apply. However, if you do plan on driving in the United States and do have a driver's license, we will need to see that on your application.
All right, and our next question is, what are the requirements?
So I went into this more in depth earlier, but just to give you some more of the basics, a quick repeat, there are requirements is that you have 2 years at least of full-time teaching experience, you have the equivalent of a U.S. bachelor's degree, and you have strong English skills. Oh, and also that you are currently teaching in your job.
And so since you did kind of go over those in depth a little bit earlier, once this live broadcast is done, the recorded video will be available.
Yes.
And so you can look at that, and then also the website too.
That is true.
And we'll also post that link for anybody who would like to see that page on our website. Okay, our next question, what is the deadline to apply for 2019?
Okay, this is one we get a lot. The answer is that we do not have a hard deadline here at EPI. We accept applications year-round. So you can apply anytime that you want up until the start of next school year, which would be August 2019.
Okay, our next question today, is there an application fee? This is one a lot of people want to know. If there's a fee to apply to the program itself.
So no, there is no application fee. When you're going through the application, you notice that some of the documents will require you to pay money to get. For example, if you need to renew your passport, you will have to pay the appropriate agency to renew your passport. The credential evaluation will cost money from the credential evaluator. Certified translations might cost you money, but EPI will never charge you money for an application fee.
Up next, we have, is there an age limit for the program?
So no, there is no age limit. As long as you meet all of our other basic requirements, you can apply regardless of your age.
Okay, looks like we have time for one more question, and that question just came in, and it is, how to resume or restart my application?
That is a great question. So to give some context, if you've already started your application, something might happen where your application gets paused, or the term that we use is it gets put on hold. And so in order to get your application taken off hold, whether you have done that yourself or we have paused it for whatever reason, the best step is to email us at team@teachwithepi.com, and we'll kind of give you an update on your application status and what you might need to do in order to take your application off hold.
Okay, great. So that was our last question for this live Q&A session here at the end of the webinar. But if you didn't get to ask your question, you can go ahead and leave that in the comments, because we'll answer all remaining questions in the comments right after the broadcast.
All right, thanks, Kimberly.
Thanks so much.
Okay, so now that you know more about how to apply, let's talk about next steps, what you're going to do after this webinar here. First, if you have not yet applied, please go to teachwithepi.com and start the application process. If you have started the application but still have questions about how to continue, you can email us directly at team@teachwithepi.com with your question, and one of our team members will get back to you as soon as possible. Finally, go to teachwithepi.com/webinars to sign up for our future webinars and to watch all of our previous videos that we have done. So to finish off our presentation today, I would like to leave you with this quote as a reminder of why cultural exchange is so important and why here at EPI we are so eager to bring teachers like you to the United States. J. William Fulbright was a U.S. Senator and the founder of the education scholarship, the Fulbright Program. He said, "The essence of intercultural education is the acquisition of empathy. The ability to see the world as others see it, and to allow for the possibility that others may see something that we have failed to see or may see it more accurately." We are dedicated to helping teachers like you come to the U.S. so that we may learn from each other's unique perspectives, just like Fulbright talks about here. Okay, so that's all for today, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have any further questions, please email us at team@teachwithepi.com. I'll repeat that for you one more time. Our email is team@teachwithepi.com. Also, be sure to sign up for our webinar mailing list at teachwithepi.com/webinars. On behalf of everyone at EPI, thank you for joining us and have a great day, everybody.